Hello, dear students. Welcome to the second lecture. After I gave you some basic information about the subject, which is hazard and safety, and I also gave you some references and I show you the syllabus of this course. Today, I'm going to start with you with the first lecture. Lecture today is going to be about types of hazards. Before we start the lecture, let us first distinguish between the meaning of hazards and risk. As you can see, hazards is anything that can cause harm, such as chemicals, electricity, broken ladders, etc. etc. Whereas risk is how great the chance that someone will be harmed by the hazards. In order to understand it clearly, I'll show you this picture. The first one showing hazards. When you are standing near a place where you can see some sort of danger, there is a hazard. However, if you are in contact with the danger, then there is a risk. So, first, what is hazard? Let us define hazard. Hazard is a source of danger which can be defined as a condition or situation that exists in the work environment that could result in a physical harm, injury, or damage. Of course, we have so many dangers, and hazards can be divided to so many numbers. I give you here a number of examples of hazards, such as physical hazards, biological hazards, chemical hazards, ergonomic hazards, safety hazards, psychological hazards. In addition, there are others such as natural hazards, anthropogenic hazards, and technological hazards. Let us start with some information concerning another classification of hazards. We can classify hazards to three types. Some examples of visible hazards, as you can see: untidy working area, missing machine guard, broken damaged ladder, slippery surface. We have also here a hidden hazards, which we cannot see but still dangerous, such as toxic hazards, vapor inside a confined space, emission from radioactive source. The last one is developing hazards. We have some examples such as structure damage due to vibration, corrosion due to oxidation of some metals. We have exposure to constant noise, especially if it is above the recommended level. And we have a decline uh, due to exposure to UV radiation or maybe a chemical reaction. If we take more details concerning hazards, we start with the chemical hazards. This sort of hazards is usually found when the worker deal with chemicals. Of course, we will find that some people are more sensitive to chemicals than others. Some people may get ill, may get skin irritation, or maybe breathing problem. And chemicals could be reactive, could be toxic, could be flammable, and could be corrosive. Later lectures will show more details about this. We have also what is called physical hazards. Here they are factors within the environment that can harm the body without necessarily touching it, such as noise, projectiles, heating devices, moving machinery, even slipping. We also have biological hazards, and as you know, we are facing biological hazards with the coronavirus, and these sort of hazards are associated with working with animals, people, or infectious plant materials. Example on this can be found when we are dealing with people or so many people in universities, hospitals, laboratories, outdoor occupations, etc. Here you found what is called safety hazards. These sort of hazards we are facing every day in the environment of the workplace. They include unsafe conditions that can cause injury, illness, and sometimes death. We have also what is called ergonomic hazards. These are usually found in type of work where body position and working condition put in a strain. Okay, they are the hardest to spot since you don't always immediately feel it, and usually you will discover it after a couple of days. We have organization hazards. These sort of hazards caused by stress and strain. These are the hazards linked with workplace issues such as workload, lack of control, and or respect. In order to be aware of the hazards and take all the precautions, we should first decide, then stop on the type of the hazards, observe it, take an act, then report the type of the hazards we discovered. I'm going to ask you to do homework using the previous described model of hazard awareness. Try to give further examples of the chosen hazards and prepare a proper guidelines to avoid it. I have decided to divide the students to a groups. We have a group from A to I. Every group has a title, which is the type of the hazards required from them to take action against, and I am going to send the names later on using Telegram. Please don't forget to send your homework on the Google Classroom using the following code. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you on the next lecture.